Hey everyone, it's D.va here. Blizzard has made some major changes to the PTR, which I will go over. But first, I wanted to talk about just the philosophy of the PTR changes in general and how important this is to the game. So the Blizzard community has come out and said that they are changing how they're treating the PTR. Before, the PTR was just basically a last check before something went live. They would make a change, they would test it internally, then they would test it publicly, then it would go live. Apparently, they're gonna ditch that philosophy, and instead of it being a last check, they're gonna use the PTR as basically an experimental research and development lab. They're gonna try out crazy ideas, off the wall abilities, unexpected changes, buffs, nerfs that might not actually be indicative of what will finally make it into the real game. So all these changes that I'm going over, they could be experimental. We're not really sure exactly how serious Blizzard is about these. And that's, kind of interesting news because these changes are really significant. So I will go over them one by one for you. So first off, dealing damage to turrets does not build charge anymore. That is a major buff for like Torbjorn and Symmetra. Also, ultimate costs have increased by 25% for all heroes. So, man, they are really slowing down ultimates. Now onto specific heroes. D.va got a major buff. Her health increased from 100 to 200. Her armor remains the same. And her movement speed while firing increased by 25%. So I don't know if D.va necessarily needed that. I kind of like the speed change because when she shot, it just felt like kind of pointless because you're basically Bastion. You're just staying in one spot. You move so slowly, it's not even worth it. So I can sort of see these changes being worthwhile. I'm a little bit surprised by the health. She's got so much armor that it feels like she doesn't really need that extra health. Plus the defense matrix, and the speed. She's like practically unkillable as it is. So I'm a little bit surprised by that. I think that might be a little bit too much, but we'll see, I guess. Soldier got a huge change. They increased his damage from 17 to 20, but they increased his spread. So this will make him a little bit less effective at long range and a little bit more effective at medium and close range. And I gotta tell you, playing on the PTR, Soldier is brutal. He can pump out some damage. You'd like step out into the open and two soldiers would start shooting you and you would drop just like that, especially if they got a body shot on you with the rockets. So I'm expecting to see a lot more Soldier, which is good because I actually really like Soldier, but this is a pretty significant buff on Soldier, definitely. Anna, she no longer has a movement speed boost to her nano boost. I want to say to her Anna boost. That's sort of a fitting name for it. Which, kind of makes sense. Basically Anna would just pop that on Roadhog and Reinhardt, and you just couldn't escape them unless you crowd controlled them. And they would just roll over your team. And I know that a lot of team comps at higher levels kind of revolved around the Anna nano boost. So it's really not surprising at all that this got a little bit of a nerf. So Blizzard got an ultimate cost increase by 15%. The May Blizzard, I'm not sure if that's on top of the 25% that all heroes got. My guess is that this is to make it a little bit less powerful because last time they buffed it and made the range wider. Also, people have claimed that it activates more quickly. So I'm guessing that is sort of the compensation of those other two changes. Lucio, which has been a super popular healer for a long time, got his healing per second decreased by 10%. That kind of makes sense. I think Lucio has been a little bit too strong of a healer just because his healing, he like out heals other healers like Zenyatta, and he heals the entire team without having to do anything just by being next to them. Zarya, she got a major nerf to her particle barriers. They basically generate charge 20% slower. Both of them do. So you'll see fewer 100% charge Zaryas running around, which is good. I think Zarya's a little bit too strong at the moment. She's just in every single team comp. Her shields are too powerful. She's too hard to kill. Her ult's too powerful. Okay, I don't want to say all of her stuff's too powerful. It's just she's very good at the moment. And these barriers might bring her a little bit more in line with the other tanks. I think we might begin to not see a Zarya in every single high-level team. Now, Torbjorn, in my opinion, probably got the single biggest change out of anyone. That's why I'm doing Torbjorn gameplay in front of you right now. So first off, Torbjorn has automatic scrap generation. That is huge. Previously, Torbjorn would have to, basically, if he ever wanted scrap, he would have to risk himself to go forward and, pick up scrap from where enemies drop, which kind of puts his life in danger. This time, they have decreased the amount of scrap that you get from an enemy from, I think, 25 to 15. and they give you automatic scrap generation. So altogether, you're going to get about the same amount of scrap, give or take. But because it's automatic, because you don't have to put yourself at risk, that means that, essentially you can, support your team from the back lines, throw out some armor. It's really handy actually because, Torbjorn's typically in the back with the other healers. So whenever he gets 50 scrap, he can just throw an armor pack onto a Mercy, throw an armor pack onto a Zenyatta, keep them up. Whereas before he would have to run past his tanks, run past his assault, pick up armor scraps, and then run all the way back, and that's just risky. You're pretty likely to die in those situations. So, if Torbjorn stays in the back, he's certainly going to get less scrap than he did before, but he'll be safer, and he can still, pump out some armor scrap and keep people alive. Also, his swing speed was increased, which will make it much easier for him to build turrets. I mean, as it stands, Torbjorn has pretty much always been unable to build a turret from rank 1 to rank 2. Whenever he's taking any sort of fire whatsoever, you pretty much need the turret to be totally safe while you're building it up. And this will make it a little bit easier, but still, Torbjorn's not really going to be able to keep it alive while under fire. So overall, this is a pretty significant buff to Torbjorn. I'm really interested to see how these play out if it makes it into the core game. So overall, I'm really excited about this. I like that they're making the PTR this sort of experimental realm. I think that makes the game more dynamic, more interesting. It makes things fresh and exciting. It makes things more interactive. Because before, if they're like, hey, maybe we should do something like crazy, like give Torbjorn automatic scrap generation. And they talk about it for months and months, and then they finally put it together, and then they put it out on a private build, and then Blizzard employees play it and say, okay, maybe this is good. Let's go ahead and put it live. And then the community responds to it. Now it's like some developer will be like, hey, I think we should probably try this idea. Why don't we just try it? And they're like, sure, why not? Let's go ahead and give it a whirl. So they change the values and they put it in the PTR, and the community can just respond to it. And it's not a big deal if it doesn't work because it's the PTR, And if it does work, if people love it, then it's sort of this step will shorten the amount of time in between someone making a suggestion at Blizzard headquarters and saying, hey, maybe we should try this idea, to the players actually playing it on competitive or whatever in the actual game. So this will speed up the production process and just make changes that improve the game come much more quickly. And it it really encourages creative thinking. So I am all for this. I am 100% behind it. I'm excited to see it. So let me know what your thoughts are about these PTR changes in the comments. I'm curious to know who you think is going to be the next powerhouse. Because, Soldier got some major buffs. D.va got some major buffs. Torbjorn also as well got some significant changes. So do you think any of these three characters are going to be the new powerhouse, the new hero that's in every single team comp at higher level play? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, thanks for watching. D.va out.